Chapter 9, Transmitters. There are 34 questions in this chapter. Number 1. What stage in a transmitter would change a 5.3 MHz input signals to a 14.3 MHz? A mixer. Number 2. The output tuning controls on a transmitter amplifier allow efficient transfer of power to the antenna. Number 3. Harmonics produced in an early stage of a transmitter may be reduced in a later stage by tuned circuit coupling between the stages. Number 4. An apparatus with an oscillator and a Class C amplifier would be a two-stage CW transmitter. Number 5. In a simple two-stage CW transmitter, the transistor in the second stage would act as a power amplifier. Number 6. In a simple two-stage CW transmitter circuit, the oscillator stage and the Class C amplifier stage are inductively coupled by an RF transformer. Another role of the RF transformer is to be part of a tuned circuit. Number 7. How much is the carrier suppressed below peak output power in a single sideband phone transmission? At least 40 dB. Number 8. How can a single sideband phone signal be produced? By using a balanced modulator followed by a filter. Number 9. Carrier suppression in a single sideband transmitter takes place in the balanced modulator stage. Number 10. In a simple two-stage CW transmitter, current to the collector of the transistor in the Class C amplifier stage flows through a radio frequency choke, or RFC, and a tapped inductor. The RFC on the tapped inductor side is also connected to the ground capacitors. The purpose of the RFC and capacitors is to form a low-pass filter. Number 11. What type of signal does a balanced modulator produce? Double sideband suppressed carrier. Number 12. An advantage of keying the buffer stage in a transmitter is that changes in oscillator frequency are less likely. Number 13. Transmission with SSB as compared to conventional AM transmission results in 6 dB gain in the transmitter and 3 dB gain in the receiver. Number 14. What is meant by flat topping in a single sideband phone transmission? Signal distortion caused by excessive drive. Number 15. What is the deviation ratio of an FM phone signal having a maximum frequency swing of plus or minus 7.5 kHz and accepting a maximum modulation rate of 3.5 kHz? 2.14. Number 16. What is the deviation ratio of an FM phone signal having a maximum frequency swing of plus or minus 5 kHz and accepting a maximum modulation rate of 3 kHz? 1.66. Number 17. Which of the following is not a method used for peak limiting in a signal processor? Frequency clipping. Number 18. In an FM phone signal having a maximum frequency deviation of 3000 Hz, either side of the carrier frequency, what is the modulation index when the modulation frequency is 1000 Hz? 3. In most modern FM transmitters, to produce a better sound, a compressor and clipper are placed between the audio amplifier and the modulator. Number 20. Which description is not correct? You are planning to build a speech processor for your transceiver. Compared to AF clippings, RF clipping is easier to implement. Number 21. What audio shaping network is added at an FM transmitter to attenuate the lower audio frequencies? a pre-emphasis network. Number 22. What is the modulation index of an FM phone transmitter producing an instantaneous carrier deviation of 6 kHz when modulated with a 2 kHz modulating frequency? 3. Number 23. What is the undesirable result of AF clipping in a speech processor? Increased harmonic distortion. Number 24. Speech compression associated with SSB transmission implies full amplification of lower-level signals and reducing or eliminating amplification of high-level signals. Number 25. The characteristic difference between a phase modulator and a frequency modulator is pre-emphasis. Number 26. What type of circuit varies the tuning of an amplifier tank circuit to produce FM signals? A phase modulator. Number 27. In an FM transmitter system, the amount of deviation from the center frequency is determined solely by the amplitude of the modulation frequency. Number 28. Maintaining the peak RF output of an SSB transmitter at a relatively constant level requires a circuit called the automatic level control, or ALC. Number 29. What is the frequency deviation for a 12.21 MHz reactance modulated oscillator in a 5 kHz deviation, 146.52 MHz FM phone transmitter? 416.7 Hz. Number 30. What is the total bandwidth of an FM phone transmission having a 5 kHz deviation and a 3 kHz modulation frequency? 16 kHz. Number 31. 3 important parameters to be verified in an FM transmitter are power, frequency deviation, and frequency stability. Number 32. When the transmitter is not modulated or the amplitude of the modulating signal is 0, the frequency of the carrier is called its center frequency. Number 33. Automatic level control, or ALC, is another name for RF compression. Number 34. Any FM wave with single-tone modulation has an infinite number of sideband frequencies.